You've already learned how to refine the audience for your ads with interest targeting. And in this lecture, we're going to cover the last two options that you have, which is behavior and connections targeting. So let's jump straight in. We're still here in the detailed targeting section in our Ads Create tool, working on the ad set level for our audience. And to find this behavior targeting, best to click on Browse here, come down to Behaviors, and we can see the certain behaviors that are available here. Now, if you want to include people who have these behaviors into your audience, this is how you do it. It's very simple and the same process as our interests. Let's understand what some of these behaviors are. So, mobile device user, if you want to target a person who uses a particular brand of mobile device or a particular operating system, if that was important to your ad, then you can select that here and really add that in just by ticking the button as we saw for the interests. Coming down, let's have a look at some of them other ones here. Travel is quite an interesting one. And for example, you could include people who have returned from a trip 1 week ago. Now, I have seen on my Facebook news feed a service that helps people to reclaim any money that they are owed from cancelled flights or missing baggage. Now, that appeared in my news feed when I just came back from holidays, so probably they are using this type of behavior targeting to put the ads in front of people who are most likely going to need that service. So that's an interesting example of how someone might be using behavior targeting. Now, moving down a little bit further, we're looking at connections here. And this is where you can target your audience based on a connection that they have with you or don't have with you. So you can see that there are options here for the Facebook page. I can target people who like my Facebook page and only them. And you'll have to maybe type in the page name. And you can see that my fuel gauge here is dropped right down to 1,000. So the reason is because if I select this option, people who like my page, then it will apply that variable plus all of the other things that I've selected above in order to do that. So that really does narrow your audience. That's not a they like my page and they are the things above. That's they like my page and they meet the criteria above as well. So that's important to understand. I'm going to take that off because it really narrows my audience too much, but you can include people who don't like your page if you're trying to reach new people, etc. and similar options for your app and events. For some reason that seems a little bit hard to click, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Now, in terms of these behavior and connections, do you need to use them? Probably for this first campaign, they're not as important, but it's just interesting to understand what those options are. I would suggest that you go in, have a look quickly around what those options are. If there are applicable ones, put them in. If not, don't worry about it too much. Now that really wraps up targeting and using those core targeting options to create an audience for our ad. Coming up next, we're going to set the placements for our ad, and this is really where our ad appears. So I'll see you in the next lecture.